It's me, Lifespiller79. A bunch of PS1 games. I can just walk in and out of a thrift store. Hello gamers, it's me, Lifespiller79. It's my show. Glad to be back, and hello gamers, it's me, Lifespiller79. It's my show. Glad to be back to do another video. This video I wanted to do Ask Spiller. You guys ask the questions, I come with the answers. You know the drill. First question comes from Sprites and Bites. He asks, what is the genre of gaming you found to be the last genre you ever expected to enjoy? Actually, it would be RPG. I'm saying actually a lot. Why I'm saying actually is because I started out playing side scrollers, platformers, occasional shooters and stuff like that, fighting games, but the first RPG game I think I remember playing probably was Super Mario RPG, and I got turned off by the turn-based aspects of the game, the waiting to attack and then waiting for the enemy to respawn, and you know, going back and forth, that type of thing. It just turned me off completely until, like I said, probably about 7 years ago. I started playing a lot of RPGs. Well, as far as starting out, I think I played Blue Dragon, and then I started playing Final Fantasy, and I started playing Ni no Kuni, of course, and Rogue Galaxy, and The Witcher 2, and let's see, there's a new game that I just got into. It's a Sega Genesis game. I can't even think of it. I may put the name on the screen if I remember. But yeah, I think what drew me in was the story element. I love games that have a good storyline, have good characters, and have good things to feed off of. So those aspects of things combined actually drew me into RPGs, because other than that, it would just been forever playing the 8-hour, 10-hour games. And that was another thing about RPGs. It's not a short-lived game, it's an experience. And the second part of his question, he actually asked, do I own any gaming merchandise? And actually I do. I have a lot. I still have my God of War Ascension Collector Edition box, in-box with Kratos and stuff like that. It's a statue. And then I have books. I like to collect the magazines. As you can see up there, I got my God of War book, strategy guides. I have a Zelda Wind Waker. Then I got my new Sprites, Mega Man, Mario. I got some Mario figures up there, Mario keychain. I just put these up there from last year. A little, kind of look like a bobblehead Batman or Robin. And then Flash. So I got those little things up there. I have a few other things. Oh yeah, some of the stuff that was sent to me, Sonics. I got some other stuff. I have posters, as you can see. I got other things up at work on my desk. But yeah, I keep plenty of merchandise, and most of the stuff is from people that are given to me over certain holidays or whatever the case may be. Next question comes from Alyssa White, or Allie is what I like to call her. She asked me, do I play any games with my son? And if I do, what games do I like to play? Hashtag Ask Spiller. Actually, there's a combination of games that I've been looking for. Him and I usually play sports or fighting games. Like we'll go head to head on Mortal Kombat 2 on the PlayStation 3. We'll play Street Fighter. What else do we play? Oh, a lot of racing games. The Sight Bike 64, which I told you guys about. Mario Kart, the Mario Kart 64, and any racing games that's competitive. I just recently found the original Blitz for the 64. I got Blitz Blitz 2001 and Blitz 2002. But I just found the Blitz, and we like to play that. We actually played 4 games of it on this weekend, and he won 2 games and I won 2 games. He's very competitive. I don't mind if I lose or win, but it's just really more about the enjoyment of spending time together. That's really the aspect of everything. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and I actually enjoy that, and he always tries to amp me up. We also play chess. We'll play that for hours. I mean, it's a mind game, but it's really competitive, and it allows you to think, but it also allows you to have good conversation together as well. So next question comes from Gamer Cheesy. He asked me, what is the most disappointing I've been in a game and why? It would have to be Alpha Protocol. I don't tell this story very often because I haven't really had a chance to, but it was a game that got delayed on numerous occasions, but it was a game I pre-ordered. I think it was back in 2011 that it came out, and I built up so much anticipation, and there was also so much anticipation due to watching all the trailers and videos and gameplay and the developers and listening to them give commentary and insight as to what to expect with the game. And when I played it, I picked it up day one, of course, because I pre-ordered it. I'm glad I didn't do any special edition, so paid $65 for the game, and it was awful. There was a limitation on the characterization, on customization of the character, of how many times you could change outfits. I think it only had a limit of 5 disguises, 5 outfits, and there was so much repetitiveness in there. And then the glitches, the graphical errors. When he would die, he would spaz out like he was having a seizure or something on the floor, and it would eventually cut to the next scene. It had kind of a mixture of RPG elements to it, but I have to say that was probably still, to this day, it's probably my #1 most hated game. I might go back and get it because I saw it for $4 just to play through it and complete it, to say I beat it, just because of my pride and how I am about certain games. Like, I would like to be able to say I beat that piece of shit. But yeah, that game was awful. It was horrible. I've seen people say they loved it, but I had such a bad experience with it, and I think it was more of a mental thing of the anticipation that I built towards the game, and then the letdown, and then how blasé the game was. You know, Deus Ex was so much better in comparison to that one. And so when I got Alpha Protocol, it was just like such a big letdown. So yeah, that one sticks with me even to this day. Next question comes from Cybersnake7. He asked me, if I could own 3 Super Nintendo games, mint condition, complete in box, what would they be? Not even hard. It's Mega Man X, one of my favorite games for the Super Nintendo. Super Metroid, of course. And then also, let's see, which one? Oh, Chrono Trigger. And then additional game that I just started thinking of was Super Castlevania. All are great titles. The one that I probably, if I only had to choose one, it would definitely be Chrono Trigger, only because I don't have that one in my collection. I had Mega Man X, but I traded it off. I've had, I got I don't have Super Metroid, but I have it on my emulator. And then Super Castlevania, I actually have that in my collection. But the one that I want the most, because it is, I seen it the other day, just out of just a loose cart. It costs $100. I have it on my emulator, but I want to actually own it on my Super Nintendo. I played it on the PS1 version. PS1 version is blah in comparison to the Super Nintendo version, but those are definitely ones that I would love to start off to have in my mint collection. That would be awesome. Next question comes from Skylar B, and he said, damn, I never knew you had a kid. When you have a child, or when I have a child, I'm leaving all my games to them. Family is important. Game responsibility. Game stuff, bro. I have a question. What is the last game that blew your mind? This was a question I really had to think about, because there's games that have piqued my interest, caught my attention, and made me really think. And it had to be Child of Light. When I first saw the actual gameplay, Like, I hadn't even watched the trailer. I hadn't seen the release date on this game or anything. I actually saw it on Edge Eyes on my boy E. He had did some gameplay, and I was just mesmerized by the actual animation, the characterization, and the RPG elements, how everything was just seamless with the transition and how smooth the character could flow. It was like being on a canvas or a painting or something like that. The best way I can articulate that. But it's really, really awesome game. I did pick that game up last year with Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, which I've already beat that game, and I need to work on beating that game. But it's a really, really awesome title. If you haven't picked it up, pick it up. PSN, I think it's only $15, and it's probably the same on 360, but it's an awesome, awesome game. But yeah, that one still sticks with me because I had to think about all the games that I've played, somewhere between about 100 games or so that I done picked up over the last year, and just piqued my interest and just blew me away. That one still blows me away. I mean, even beyond anticipation for other games. Last question comes from Post Like Hakeem. What are your thoughts on using emulators and ROMs? I actually don't have a problem with it. I'm not opposed to the idea. I think it's almost like a demo to me. You know, I kind of use it as a demo, or for games that are too entirely expensive that you'll never be able to have in your collection. I think that's the big purpose that it serves. And then plus storage room, you know, being able to have space in your collection to add in the hard copies of games that you want, that you can't have, can't afford, would love to have. So I think they serve a good means of purpose. So I'm not opposed to the idea. I know some people are so fundamental when it comes to their collecting, when it comes to gaming, when it comes to buying video games, that they're very strict on that idea, and they're opposed to it altogether. So I don't have no problem with it. It actually was good for me because with that, it actually, that's how I found out about Gunstar Hero. And then when I went into the game store, here it is, I found it and was able to get it for a reasonable price. And if I hadn't played it on the emulator, I would have never, because I just downloaded a bunch of Sega Genesis games for my emulator, and then I found this one just by stumbling through it, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, I think they serve a really good purpose. And the second part of Post Like Hakeem question is, he said, also, do you have any plans to do Let's Play of some of your favorite games in 2015? I am currently working on that. And what I mean by that, I'm currently working on getting the equipment to be able to do the recording. Hoping that some plans go through and eventually I'll start being able to record video games. That is definitely one of my goals for the year, to be able to knock that out. So yeah, if you have any more questions, make sure to hit the like button. Keep it going. Leave questions, leave comments on here. I'll be sure to add them. I'll be able to be sure to answer those questions as well. Other than that, I'm Lifespiller79. Tell me how